YouTube, ValleyGirl5678 here, and you guessed it, it's time for another album review. Today I'm going to be reviewing the new Yaeji project, With a Hammer. While this is Yeji's debut album, it's not her first full-length project, as in 2020 we got a project of the exact same length as this LP, What We Drew. This is a really strong debut album. I see this album as being in kind of two parts, with the first half consisting of experimental pop bops, and the second half consisting of experimental club DJ bops. All 13 songs, however, are all incredibly cohesive sonically and thematically, really giving into sonic vibes and themes of existentialism, especially in the first half where the production generally is quite nostalgic, borderline melancholic at times, but there really isn't a pause from generally upbeat production. In track 6, I'll Remember For Me, I'll Remember For You, which to me acts as a sort of transition from the first half of the album into the second. The sentiments of feeling like moments passing by so quickly is quite a scary thing to emotionally experience. This leading you to overthink and over-contextualize every single moment, every single breath, is present in most of the songs in the first half, especially For Granted and Pass Me By, the first and third single. In both of these tracks, she is wondering if she's letting important moments in her life pass her by, taking them for granted. Sonically, the climax of the song in For Granted is so like Tennyson vibes to me. The anxiety that comes with this moment in this song leads into the next track, Fever, really well, as the song has a constant of dissonant synths, which very much calls to the uncomfortability that comes with having a fever. This anxious/uncomfortable feeling is mirrored in her lyrics and performance, especially in the verses and the pre-choruses, where she goes off, expressing feelings of questioning everything and wanting to run away from everything. While in this track she wants to run away from it all, in track 5 she wants to smash it with a hammer. Title track, obviously. The chorus is where her anger is being most obviously expressed, and it builds as it continues. And as the song goes on, it becomes quite clear that she is angry about just like life and existence in general. I think this idea of smashing things with a hammer in order to move forward is very present on the first track, Submerge FM, where she's saying that the internet says there's nothing we can do to save future generations. Sonically, I love how she begins an album that consists mostly of digital instrumentation with natural instruments, which obviously works very well with these ideas of the past and the future and time itself. The digital wouldn't exist without the natural coming first. The track right after that transitional track I was talking about, Done, Let's Get It, which was the second single, expresses sort of like revolutionary sentiments with ideas of breaking ancestral and traditional cycles that were passed on to us that actually no longer serves us. What's interesting is that after this track is just like all good fucking vibes, almost suggesting what life could be like if we just get it done. Ready or Not with K Wada is so good, so groovy. Mitchin with NAA, bop. Love the production. It actually reminds me of the production in For Granted. Away X5 is a post-grunge pop bop with the percussion fully carrying the song. Happy with Nourished by Time is probably my favorite feature/collab. I love the production, I love the breakdown, and then after this track with the second to last track, we're thematically pulled back into that idea of smashing something with a hammer, as the song is called One Thing to Smash. However, this track does sonically kind of pull us back into the sonic temperature of I'll Remember For Me, I'll Remember For You, with almost like Lynchian synths and production. And then towards the end of the track, we get sort of Tyler the Creator-esque feature from Lorraine James. And overall, this track really aids in the transition from, honestly, the climax of the album with Happy to the outro track, Be Alone in This, that has borderline chill, like psychedelic production, and thematically wraps up the album so well, as the last line and moment of the song and album is That's How You Lose Track of ... Obviously, the word there is time. I'm guessing. It kind of reminds me of the lyric, I think, in Circles from Happy, as it almost feels like you can loop this album from the end to the beginning again. Like this album exists in a sort of cyclical fashion. Everything works together so well on this album, within each song and then the songs relating to each other. Listening to this album in order is an experience. Literally the only not positive thing I could say about this album, I guess, is that the lyrics get a little repetitive, I guess. But it kind of works and coincides with the themes I was talking about, as well as the sonic landscape of the album. So with all that said, I'm going to give this album a 9. Thank you so much for watching this video. Remember to check out my silly little social media accounts linked below, as well as my Patreon, where I I am posting the reactions to the albums that I review on this channel. My Lana and Boy Genius reactions are already up. My reaction to this album will be up shortly, so check that out below, and I will see you in my next video. Toodles!